Okay, we're now going to talk about a very important number in mathematics. It's called e. It's just like you've heard of pi. Pi is, about 3.14. Well, e is just a number also. E is approximately 2.718. And since it is a positive number and it's not 1, we can use e as a base for an exponential function. In other words, we can define a function to be f of x equals e to the x, because this base is just a number. Now this happens to be called the natural exponential function. The natural exponential function. And what I'd like to do now is just do a quick graph of this. And in order to do this, we're going to need a t-table. So here's my x values. Here's e to the x. I'll do my standard numbers, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And now I'm going to have to use my calculator. So on your calculator, you're going to do one of two things here for your first one. E to the -2, or you're going to do 2.718 to the -2. Whichever one you prefer. I'm going to ask you to try and do this one because most calculators have an E button. And you're going to have to figure out how to use that E button, but I'm going to assume that you're going to be able to figure that out. E to the -2 on my calculator gives me about 0.135. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. This is going to give me 0.135. Okay, now if you do e to the -1 on your calculator, you should get about 0.368 with a little rounding there. E to the 0, of course, will be 1. E to the 1 will be 2.718. And then e squared, you just do that on your calculator too, is about 7.39, something like that. And now what you could do is you could create your graph. Of course, at 0, we're at 1, right? At 1, where are we? So at 1, we're at 2.7. So I'm going to go, here's 2, here's 3, so about up here. And you're just trying to get a rough idea of what's happening here. At 2, we're about 7.39, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.3, somewhere around there. And then at -1, we are at 0.36, so about right here. And at -2, we're at 0.1, so it's real close to the x-axis. And you can draw it like this. And of course, we still have our horizontal asymptote here of the x-axis. So that's the graph of e to the x. And it's just important that you learn how to use your calculator and your E button now in order to, later on we're going to be doing some applications where we're going to have to use our E button. So go ahead and work on that. Let me give you a couple of things to try on your calculator. This is always a good one, e to the pi, because that's using the pi button on your calculator. And also here's another one, e to the e. That's kind of a tricky one. I'll give you both of the answers to these. How about e to the pi? You should get about 23.14. And e to the e, you should get 15.15. So again, go on the internet, get some help, type in the type of calculator you have, type in exponent, something like that, and hopefully you can find something to help you be able to compute these sorts of things.